Hey guys, it's Danielle. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Like I said, my name is Danielle Walton, and on this channel I talk about motherhood, lifestyle, fashion, and beauty things. So welcome, thank you so much. This video I'm going to be talking all about my first 20 weeks of pregnancy. I am 6 months postpartum right now. I did not really get into filming while I was pregnant. I wasn't in the mood, girl. So I figured I'll just wrap it up into two videos, my first 20 weeks and my last 20 weeks. My pregnancy was not that eventful, but I do have some things that I want to talk about. So I figured I could just wrap them up into two videos instead of doing like week by week. So we're gonna jump right in. As you can see, I have baby girl strapped to me. You'll see her head bouncing around. She was taking a nap, but now she's up, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, we're gonna jump right in. I found out I was pregnant pretty much, oh, and I have notes here, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing. But I found out I was pregnant pretty much right away. I was 5 weeks pregnant when I found out. So I've never been pregnant, never had a pregnancy scare or anything, so I didn't know too much about what happens. But I had some implantation bleeding, which I thought was my cycle starting. Yeah, I pretty much knew like right away when I was pregnant. The symptoms that I had before that, I thought they were like symptoms for my cycle, but my boobs were really sore and I had a lot of bloating and I was super duper tired. That was the only main difference that was different from just having a cycle, was that I was really tired. Like homegirl could only just go to work and go to sleep. Like it was real. I kind of struggle with that because I'm a little bit of a busybody. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I can sit around and lay around all day and watch YouTube and Netflix and all that, but I just felt so unproductive because I was so tired and all I wanted to do was sleep. But you know, after figuring out that I was pregnant and all that, everyone was saying like, get your sleep, you need to sleep. So it kind of took the guilt away a bit. But yeah, I was super tired. So oh, and with my boobs being sore, it was a funny story. So I was at church one day and this lady was like talking about breast cancer, like beating breast cancer or something about breast cancer. And so when my boobs got sore, I was like, devil, you a lie. Like, no, you're not gonna put that juju in my mind. Like, no, I'm not. We bind up breast cancer in the name of Jesus. But obviously it was just, I was pregnant. So as far as morning sickness goes, I had no morning sickness my entire pregnancy, which I am so grateful for. I know that that can be so difficult for a lot of women during their pregnancy, but I fortunately did not have any, which I really wasn't expecting to have any, because I'm just not the type of person that throws up a lot. Like I can count on one hand how many times I've thrown up in my entire life. So I just wasn't really expecting to have that kind of symptom. So luckily I had no morning sickness my entire pregnancy. Although I found out pretty early that I was pregnant, I didn't have my first appointment until I was 14 weeks, which was pretty late. Most people have their first appointment at like 8 weeks or 7 weeks. I had my first at 14 weeks, which is already into your second trimester. 13 weeks is your first trimester. So yeah, I was already into my second trimester. And so they went ahead and did the ultrasound and my first appointment the first day. And I had to wait that long because I knew the doctor that I wanted to go to, but he sees people at 2 different places, and the place that I went to initially was like a clinic that had residents who were still in school. They had a pretty long waiting list because they only see new patients on Mondays, and so I had to wait like 3 or 4 weeks before I can get my first appointment. That wasn't the place I was supposed to be in the first place. So I ended up going to my doctor's like private office, which is in the same medical center. That's why I was so confused. It's in the same medical center, so I ended up switching there. But they use all the same systems, so everything was fine. But yeah, so my first appointment was pretty late, and that was a little nerve-wracking because during that time, like, I mean, that's 14 weeks of, well, not 14 weeks, like 10 weeks of just not knowing anything. Like, you don't know what's happening, you don't know if everything's okay. I wasn't having any bleeding or any like problematic symptoms, but you just want to make sure everything is fine. So that was a little nerve-wracking, but luckily when I went for my first appointment, my blood work was fine and my ultrasound was fine. She was fine. She was like kicking up a storm. Yes, she was kicking up a storm. She was kicking up a storm. She was waving. I mean, she was such a busybody on that first ultrasound. So I was crying. My boyfriend's mom went. She was crying. My mom was crying. Like, it was very emotional. And I'll put in a picture here. Of course, we took pictures at just about every appointment. So I'll put a picture here of my first appointment with the first ultrasound. And I had a little bump. So I was happy about that, like finally showing signs of pregnancy. I was feeling a little bit of fluttering during that time. It wasn't like full-on kick. She was so tiny, you're not gonna feel kicking, but I was feeling some movement, which was hard to decipher if it was gas or if it was her, but I knew that, you know, it was happening a little often. So I definitely knew baby girl was doing fine, and at that time I didn't know if it was a girl or boy, but I knew it was a girl. So I wouldn't say the entire pregnancy, but initially, like my first trimester, yeah, I would say my first trimester, because my second trimester was pretty cool. My first trimester, I was really emotional and just really in my head about things. Sorry, she's scratching on this carrier. You can probably see her little hand. I was really emotional and just, you know, you're thinking about everything. You want to make sure the baby's okay. You're just thinking about their future. You're thinking about your future. You're thinking about what people think, and you know, just everything. So and then you're just, I mean, your body's changing. You're dealing with insecurities, and now you're dealing with like joining your life with someone else's life, and just the responsibility of being a mom. It was just a lot. So I just tried to journal and pray to kind of combat those negative thoughts and just emotional roller coaster. Just understand that it's normal, and to know that that really wasn't me. And that's something that I struggle with a lot with my pregnancy, even with PMS. Like, I struggle with the thought of knowing that something is altering my state of mind. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, it's hard for me because I'm like, I know better than this, and I know not to think this way, but like you just go there uncontrollably almost. So but I made it through, and my second trimester was really good. So yeah, I got through it. I didn't have any cravings my entire pregnancy, really. I didn't have any cravings. Like, the only thing that would happen is I would think of something, like if someone would say tacos, I'd be like, ooh, yeah, oh my god, I gotta get some tacos today. Like, or if somebody said like lasagna, it's like, oh my god, I'm going straight to Olive Garden, I gotta get some lasagna. Like, it was like that. Like, I didn't have like, I have to have pickles with whatever, but it was basically like whatever somebody suggested or said or whatever came to mind. Like, I wanted that day. So I really didn't have any cravings, but I was eating a lot. And I know a lot of people say, like, you know, a typical healthy pregnancy, you gain about 30 to 40 pounds, but like, homegirl gained so much weight. 20 weeks, I was like in my 160s. Yeah, that was a lot of weight, because so when I first took a test at home, I went to an urgent care and also tried to take a test. And I say try because they were doing a blood test and she missed my vein, and I just had a breakdown, like, I can't do this. So I didn't take the test at the urgent care because I just knew I was pregnant anyway. But when I weighed in there, I was 139, and so that was like right around 5 weeks. Yeah, at 20 weeks, I was like in the 160s. So I gained quite a bit of weight. And then on my second video of the last 20 weeks of my pregnancy, I'll tell you how much she weighed at the end. Oh, my face and my skin changed a lot. Pretty much right away, like my nose spread and my face got really puffy and swollen. I won't say like swollen, like I didn't look like something was wrong, but my face definitely changed. We didn't announce my pregnancy until I was 20 weeks, but my cousin like messaged me on Facebook like, oh, congratulations girl, I could see it all in your face. And I was like, girl, like, calm down. You don't know my life like that. You could definitely see it in my face. My skin changed so much, and I'll insert some pictures. My neck was so dark. Like the perimeter of my face was really dark, and just the texture of my skin changed. Like, I just know I constantly had to like exfoliate around my nose. My skin was very like rough, and I had like some dry patches. It was bad. Like, my skin was going through some things, so that also like helped contribute to the emotional like ups and downs. Like, everything is changing, so we just having to deal. That was something that I was like, okay, I can't really, not that I was trying to hide it, but you know, we just wanted to wait until we knew everything was fine, and we didn't want to announce until we knew the gender. So that's that. I will tell y'all about a time, probably when I was like 12 weeks or so. I remember coming home and laying down on the couch, and I sneezed, and it just felt like my uterus shredded. Like, I was just like, I think I started crying because I just felt like, oh no, what just happened? Like, I just knew something was wrong. Like, checked to make sure I wasn't bleeding. Like, it was intense. Like, and y'all probably laughing like, girl, from a sneeze, but it was like, what just happened? Obviously, like, that happens often. Like, sneezing and coughing and stuff like that hurts your uterus because it's, you know, expanding, things are changing, your muscles and everything is just different. So stuff like that happens, which I found out after I googled a million different things. So I was getting some pelvis and tailbone pain because obviously your joints and bones and everything is shifting, preparing you for labor. So I was getting a lot of pain, especially because I was up and down at my job, sitting at a desk, getting up. I worked at a dealership at this time, so getting up, you know, running around the parking lot and just doing a bunch of stuff. I was getting a lot of pain, like in my pelvis area and in my tailbone area. And I also was getting, I can't think of the word, round ligament pain. Come on, yes, memory. Round ligament pain. I was getting that, which is like just sharp shooting pains on each side of your stomach. And I was getting that throughout the day. During this time, I really wasn't having too much pain like sleeping or anything, but throughout the day, my joints my joints in my hip area were hurting. That ain't funny. See, lastly, I didn't really have any health risks during this pregnancy, so that I was thankful for. Nothing was going wrong up until this point, and so I was really thankful for that. My doctor said I was pretty boring, which I'll take. But yeah, so that is pretty much everything with my first 20 weeks. If you have any questions, I would love to just continue the conversation in the comments. I would love to hear about your experience during your first 20 weeks. Like, did you get morning sickness? Did you not? Did you get any heartburn? I don't know if I mentioned that, but I didn't have any heartburn during my pregnancy. I think I mentioned that, but I can't remember. But yeah, let's continue this conversation. I would love to, you know, hear about your experiences. Also, if you are on Facebook, we have a really awesome mom group called Mama Slays. I'll put the link in the description as well. Mama Slays is a group for moms, and we just help each other, you know, go through motherhood together, but also like trying to keep it together and slay at the same time. I know that was something that I struggled with in the beginning. That is why that group was created, so make sure you join that group and join the conversations there as well. But yeah, let's continue in the comments. Like, I don't want to be pregnant again, but I would love to like talk about your pregnancy and like what's going on, and like, you know, I don't want to offer any advice because I am no expert. I've had one child. Nobody is an expert. Can we just talk about that too? Ooh, everybody want to be an expert, but I'm not an expert in motherhood, but I could just, you know, share my experiences and what I've learned and point you to some resources if that's what you want. Yeah, I'm not gonna ramble, but thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.